everyone, and welcome to the Scott County Sports Network for Scott County Cardinal basketball. Tonight, the #1 ranked Cardinals play host to 11th Region foe and longtime rival, the Lexington Catholic Knights. I'm Derek Varney, and along with the greatest broadcast crew in the nation, we're going to do our best to bring you all this heated action tonight. Alongside me for play-by-play tonight, and the X's and O's, is the coach himself, Keith Greiser.
Hey, Derek. Great to be here tonight, man. There's some excitement in the gym. The band's here. You smell the popcorn. The shoes are squeaking. It feels like a game that's on like Donkey Kong.
Absolutely. You know, it's cold outside, but we know when this thing tips up here in a few minutes, we're about 12 minutes away from tip-off, that it's going to get heated. It's a nasty, nasty rivalry. We're going to get into how it got like that here in a few minutes. But along with us tonight, Keith, we can't do this alone. We got the greatest crew, as I mentioned, in the nation. We got the guy behind the camera that's going to bring you all the beautiful HD digital shots tonight, and that's Toby Murray. And the maestro beside me himself, a computer operator, Mr. Kevin Ritchie. Also need to go ahead and say thank you and a big shout out to the man that's in his recliner tonight in Hebron, Kentucky, is the CEO, the president, whatever you want to call him, general manager, Mr. Mike Ritchie.
We also want to say shout out to Mark Walls. We're expecting him to be here about halftime. He had some bank business to take care of, kiss a few babies, you know, and his governor. Looking forward to him running for office one day. But for tonight, we'll hope to see him in the second half.
Absolutely. He's letting the pipes rest just a little bit. He'll be here in the second half to take the game in. He loves this Scott County Lexington Catholic matchup, and he'll be back with us on this broadcast on Thursday night. We're going to take a short break, and when we return, Coach Greiser is going to get into some of the Scott County team stats, individual leaders, and update us on how Scott County fared last week in 2 11th Region battles. You're tuned in to the Scott County Sports Network.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know. Frank Shoop.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoop in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
Frank Shoop. He's big on service and he's big on deals. Frank Shoop. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoop's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoop is gonna set the pace.
When it's time for oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
United Bank, together with you. We offer all the services you're looking for in a financial institution: convenience, great accounts, internet banking, and attentive customer service. With today's hectic pace, it's good to know United Bank meets your needs with locations right where you need them. With 13 offices in Scott, Jessamine, Fayette, and Woodford counties, 24/7 access to cash at our branch ATMs, and the Bluegrass Cash locations in Lexington, United Bank is together with you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And we're back to Scott County High School. And again, thank you for tuning in to the Scott County Sports Network, where tonight Scott County Cardinals play host to the Lexington Catholic Knights. This is always a fun game for a fan and the spectators to take in, because both these teams play so hard. Keith, we know there's no secrets between them. Lexington Catholic is going to give you their 2-2-1 press. Scott County is going to trap you. Scott County comes into this game with a 4-0 record. Tell us a little bit about how they've gotten through the first part of their schedule here, which it's still early in the season, but what sticks out as far as their team statistics?
There have been multiple games where they've played even with the other team the first half and then gone on a big run in the third quarter and blown them out. So I think that Coach Hicks is probably talking to them about being focused right here at this time. You know, 7 minutes to go before the game starts. He's wanting a focused team, and I'm guessing that was a conversation that they've had so they can get off to a good start tonight. You don't want to play even with Lex Cath. You don't want to play around with that. You want to get off to a good start. Some statistics, Scott County shooting 48% from the field for the season so far, 28% from the three up to this point. Really a nice stat, Derek. They're shooting 74% from the free throw line right now as a team, and that's pretty strong.
Really is.
Some of the leaders, Mike Moreno, of course, a double-double machine. He's averaging 25 and 14. Cooper Robb, 13 and 5. Diablo's averaging 8.5 points a game. Lorenzo Williams at 7.5 points a game, and Glenn Covington's throwing in 5 points a game. So you got some nice scoring and some good rebounding with all. The concerns I've got tonight for Scott County, we're averaging 16 turnovers per game, and that's too many, especially when you're going to face a good 2-2-1 press like Catholic. They're going to try to put us in, the corners. They want to funnel you to the corner so they can get the traps in the areas they want. They're not as athletic as we are, but their press is smart. Theirs is about intelligence and putting you in percentage areas where you're likely to throw the ball away. And the other big concern tonight that Scott County's going to have to overcome is Bryce Long being out sick. And so you're talking about 11 points a game and a team leader and a starter for multiple years who's home sick. Bryce, we hope you feel better soon and get back out here real soon. I hope that the boys step up their game and cover for you tonight.
Absolutely, and I think what you're looking at, Keith, a lot of times in this game, it's almost like a Carolina and Duke rivalry or a Kentucky-Louisville. No matter if one of them's having a down season, one of them's supposed to be really good, the other one's mediocre. It doesn't matter when these two teams, when they look across the floor and they see those jerseys each other's wearing, they really get after it.
And the intensity goes way up. Now, I'll tell you this, I've not seen Sonny Dennison have to put out caution tape yet before this game tonight. Over on the section, on the home side behind the benches, they've got a section that's roped off with caution tape so that Lexington Catholic fans can have a spot to sit. That's what you're talking about here with this rivalry. We don't want intermingled fans because that leads to bad things. So they've got a section for them. The band's here. I'm jacked. I can't wait for this game.
Absolutely. There's no love lost in here tonight between these two teams. There's no best friends. They just want to, it's really a meaningless game tonight, but it is for bragging rights, and it's always, Scott County and Catholic, when the ball's thrown up, it's just a heated battle. We're going to take another break, and when we return, we're going to take a look at Lexington Catholic, who enters tonight's contest with a 4-1 record. You're watching Scott County Sports Network.
Community Hospital is a 75-bed acute care facility with an award-winning history providing excellence in health care. Georgetown has been named one of the best places to work in Kentucky for 5 of the last 6 years. The hospital continues to add new medical services and to grow the number of specialists and primary care physicians. It also features an award-winning ICU, medical surgery unit, and 24-hour emergency services. Georgetown Hospital, located on Lexington Road in Georgetown, Kentucky. Here for your needs 24 hours a day.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's, voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies, like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street, next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's action.
Hi, Dick Stockton here. I've been announcing sports for over 40 years, and I know a winning team when I see one. Greens Toyota of Lexington has what it takes to win, which is why Greens is Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 2 years running. Family owned for over 40 years, Greens strives to give excellent customer service and best value for the dollar. No matter what department, parts, service, or sales, Greens continues to move forward doing business the right way every day. Be a part of Greens' winning team. Greens Toyota. Great people, great cars, think green.
Let's get back to it. What's this? No one saw that. Doesn't count.
Choose your deals from the King Savings menu, only at Burger King.
Who's the king now?
And welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network at Scott County High School for tonight's heavyweight bout, Keith, between Scott County Cardinals and the Lexington Catholic Knights. We've talked it, and I don't want to say we're beating a dead horse, but this rivalry, even right now in December, as we talked the other night, as Mark Walls and I talked with the Lexington Christian game last week, which reminds you that Scott County's already played Lexington Christian. Now they're playing Lexington Catholic. Oh, and they've also played had to go to Douglas on Friday night. So, as you see, we've already dug into the 11th region. And tonight with Lexington Catholic coming in, tell us a little bit about Lexington Catholic and what they've done thus far.
Yeah, they're 4-1 right now. With most recent win over Dunbar, they beat Dunbar 59-42 in a pretty quality, convincing win against the 11th region squad. They played Corbin at home, and they won that game handily. They played Marshall County at Marshall County in the Hoop Fest, and that's always a big event. A lot of hoopla over the players that come to that event. So to beat the home team there is a nice win. They did lose to Covington Catholic, and that one was on November 29th, Derek. And so Cov Cath didn't really even have all their players yet. So that's an interesting loss there, 54-53 at home. And then they beat Wolfe County on the first game of the season, 68-50. So I think that their schedule, they're tested. They haven't played quite the quality of teams that Scott County has yet, but they've played a nice schedule. And Brandon Salzman always does. He doesn't duck anybody. He wants to play the good quality opponents, and he knows that that's what's going to make his team better. And then none of these games really matter until March, other than for the seeding of the districts. So kudos to Brandon. And I think it's great that he has Tommy Houston as an assistant, former head coach at LCA. But before that was his assistant for Danny Haney when Danny was here at Lex Cath. So long-standing tradition with these guys. Brandon Salzman played at Catholic, and so he's got a lot of pride in that program, and he instills that in his boys as they come through the program.
Absolutely, and both programs that you talked about right now, you just hit on the word pride. Both very prideful coaches. A lot of wins between them, and tonight, again, we're getting March basketball in December. We're going to take another quick break, and when we return, we're going to go over the keys to the game. We are just about a minute away from tip-off on the Scott County Sports Network.
Box combo, please.
At Raising Cane's, we do one thing, and we do it better than anyone else. So why not let our food do the talking? Love in the window. Raising Cane's, only the best chicken finger meals. One love.
Visit our Scottsdale location today at 74th and Shea.
Steve Skierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no-obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment.
Around here, we grew up in the kitchen. We learned how to cook when our parents taught us what their parents taught them. At Bojangles, our master biscuit makers use traditional Southern recipes too, from scratch, the old-fashioned way. It's harder, but it's better. Around here, kitchens have always brought folks together, and we're going to make sure they do so for a long time to come. Head to Bojangles for a Cajun filet biscuit combo for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Bojangles, it's Bo time.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
We're back. Scott County Sports Network. Scott County Band always does a fantastic job with the national anthem. I always enjoy that. They do a great job in everything that they do, and it's good to see them here tonight because that makes it a little more feel. I'm so used to the band. Keith, you remember back in the day when you run out and the band was playing, and you know the shoes were squeaking on the court. It's just got that feel tonight, you know. Coach, let's look at some keys to the game tonight before we get into the starting lineups here.
Yeah, I think that I didn't really go over LexCat's stats. I think it's a big key that they slow down Zan Payne. You know, Coach Kenny Payne from UK, this is his son. He's put on some shoulder muscle and looks really good shape right now. He's averaging 22 points and 9 rebounds a game. Going to be a great test for the Cardinals defense to see if they can put some heat on him and make him unable to do his thing. Bailey Kagan is averaging 8.4 points per game, and Ben Johnson, you remember that Johnson name from last year. Absolutely. This is younger brother, and younger brother as a freshman is already averaging 6.6 points a game. Catholic shoots 48% from the field, 19% from the three, so that might be something that Scott County can take advantage of, and they're shooting 67% from the free throw line.
Absolutely. The Johnson family itself, this is the younger one, but Tanner's already went through, and then the older brother, then the middle one last year, I forget his first name, but then you got Ben this year, and I saw him play last year when he was an 8th grader in a JV game. He was really good. Looking at tonight's starting lineups, which they'll be announced right now. For the visitors, the Lexington Catholic Knights, they come with a record of 4-1, coached by Brandon Salzman. You got number 5, Keegan Bailey, at one guard. At the other guard, number 1, Javen Harden. Probably a 3-guard offense here. You got number 33, Ben Johnson. You got the power forward that Coach Greiger spoke of earlier, who's put on a lot of muscle. The son of Coach Kenny Payne, Zan Payne. And then the senior guard that we saw, really good shooter, T.C. Price. And for your home Cardinals, who come with a record of 4-0, coached by all-time winningest coach, Billy Hicks, they're going to go with a little bit different lineup tonight due to the sickness of Bryce Long. Bryce, get better, buddy. Can't wait to see you back out here. Got Cam Fluker, senior Cooper Robb, guard junior Glenn Covington. He's number 14. The man in the middle, Michael Marino, number 24. And at forward/guard, you got Lorenzo Williams. Tip controlled by Lexington Catholic. Harden's getting pressure as they're going to trap. And there's a steal already by Cooper Robb. Cooper Robb goes in. He's fouled and one.
Man, that's a great start to the game. Lexington Catholic tried to do a little handoff, which is one of the most dangerous plays you can do against Scott County. I'm really surprised they started off that way. Cooper Robb gets his hand in, finishes strong with an and one, shows some emotion. Hey, if he comes emotional tonight, Lord have mercy, boys, we might take off.
You're exactly right. Cooper misses misses his free throw there to complete the and one. Ben Johnson from the corner, no good. Rebounded by Zan Payne, stripped out of his hand and fouled on the way up. And that's one on Cooper Robb.
We didn't block out very well that time, and how can you not block out Zan Payne? That's one of the ways that he scores is getting offensive rebounds. I don't understand.
That's got to be on the board in the locker room, you know. Keep Zan Payne off the board. If he opens up his mid-range game, that's what he kind of lacks.
Yeah, he took a long two that time. His foot was just over the line. I'm not sure how good a shot that was.
See a little, like a little 1-2-2 matchup here. Trying to get the ball to Michael Marino. Lorenzo Williams over to Glenn Covington. Covington backs it out. Off the drive, hand off to Fluker. Fluker to Robb. Robb for three. Got it.
In rhythm right there. Nice penetrating pitch. Cooper had his feet ready. Let it fly.
5-0 Cooper Robb. Pressure being applied to Harden. Harden dribbling out front to Johnson. Johnson's got a lot of poise for a freshman. He really does. Got a nice body, got a nice stroke. That's a walk right there. Probably first of many turnovers for both teams, the way the pressure's being applied here early.
Yeah, they're excited. Both teams are excited. You're going to make some mistakes early sometimes when you got that much adrenaline flowing.
Ball inbounded up to Williams. Williams hard off the dribble, off the glass, and good. That's a great take by Lorenzo.
It was a good look ahead. Lorenzo got behind the second layer of the 2-2-1 press and then just attacked the back man. Kept his eyes on the rim. Nice kiss off the glass.
A little bit too close there, a little too handsy there for Williams. He's a little excited after that bucket on the other end.
Well, I think I think one thing they tell him is go find out what they're going to call a handshake. So he's going to get up in you the very first of the game and see what they call and what they don't.
Absolutely. And now, am I not seeing number 3, T.C. Price? I don't see. Yep, there's T.C. Price.
T.C. Price.
I think I got too many in the lineup on my card here. Nice pass to Zan Payne. Zan with Michael Moreno on him, and it's altered his shot. Lorenzo Williams on the drive. A little bit out of control right there, but good take. Ball up floor. There's a body foul on Glenn Covington. That'll be his first.
Yeah, Lorenzo's being real aggressive right there. Didn't really get. I think he was just trying to get fouled. Didn't get the call, so they got the break the other way, and we got in a little bad defensive position. Glenn picks up the foul.
Great pressure on the inbounds, knocked away by Moreno. Moreno on the drive, got tripped by Cam Fluker. Great defense right there, great hustle, just unfortunate he got his feet tangled up with Cam. Got to get the little guy from underneath of him there, Keith.
Hey, Cam was just trying to hustle.
That's it.
They just happened to go at the wrong angles.
Harden brings the ball up. Token pressure by Glenn Covington. Over to Payne. Payne over to T.C. Price. Excuse me, that's Keegan Bailey. Sparkman. Nowhere to go. Great hands by Cooper Robb. Deep jumper. No good by T.C. Price. Put the ball on the floor immediately. Easy layup for Harden. Glenn Covington has to chin that ball.
Well, I'll tell you, he really worked hard to block out and get that rebound that time, but then just got in a hurry and tried to dribble out of it when they were on him. That should be a foul.
It's a late call there, but that's it. Right there is a prime example of what Lexington Catholic wants you to do. They want you to put the ball on the floor and try to dribble through the press, and they're going to back tap you.
Into an area where they can have an advantage. Double teams or back tips.
They are definitely going to back tap you. 7-2 Scott County with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Williams on the wing looking to shoot, fakes it, back out front to Moreno. Moreno back to Covington. Covington on the drive. That's tough for him being left-handed, going back to his right and keeping the ball on his left side. That's tough. The turnover by Glenn Covington there, trying to force the issue a little bit. Price over to Sparkman. Sparkman over to Bailey. Bailey back out front to Harden. Harden being pressured by Lorenzo Williams. Over to T.C. Price. Price on the baseline drive, cut off. Back out to Bailey. Bailey for a long three. Rims out. Moreno with another rebound.
The Catholic's gone to a 5-out spread offense where they're trying to clear the lane out. I guess they don't want to have Michael Moreno in there challenging shots.
Well, and the thing about it is, Cooper Robb no good on the three. The thing about it is there's only one big guy for Scott County. Another steal by Cooper Robb. That's his second.
I haven't seen them play, so I don't know if that's common, if that's just what they're doing this year.
I haven't either, Keith, to tell you the truth. I haven't seen them do that before. Zan Payne on a hard drive. Got it.
It's a nice finish with Covington kind of underneath him and Moreno coming to block it from the top.
Yeah, that could have been an and one
He
right
finished
there.
anyway.
Absolutely could have been a foul called there. Short corner to Fluker. Fluker out to Robb. Scott County gets caught standing a lot, if you notice, Coach. Not a whole lot of movement. Here we go.
And they're running a man set right now against the zone defense just so that we can have some movement, I think, coaches.
And I think they're getting that high screen right there. If they just get these guys, there's a good pull up right there by Cooper Robb. There's the man, Cam Fluker, smallest man on the court.
He caught an elbow in the chin.
Yep. Pass to Sparkman. Sparkman good and one. Foul on Williams. That's going to be Williams' second. Lorenzo's going to have to take a seat.
A couple concerning things right there, Derek. I think that, we don't want Lorenzo with 2 fouls. That's one of our best defenders, especially on the ball. He can really pressure it up. But we've gotten caught in transition twice now where Fluker has gone and gotten an offensive rebound, but he missed the tap in. And when he's up there was nobody rotating back to protect the basket. And Catholic's getting it down the floor faster than we coming back on defense.
Absolutely. Long pass to Williams. Beautiful outlet by Michael Moreno to Lorenzo Williams. Catholic just fell asleep right there and let Williams leak out. 9-6 Scott County.
I think Coach Hicks confused him. He put Kobe Harris in, and they assumed he was going in for Lorenzo.
As he
because he had two fouls.
Right.
But Lorenzo hides over here by the scoreboard and then sneaks out for the run out. There's always some gamesmanship in this one.
Absolutely. And you got Kobe Harris in the ball game, and one Keegan Bailey foul on Kobe Harris. And I've noticed that Kobe, when he gets in, he does get a foul immediately. he's good for 5, and he gets that first one out of the way immediately. Keegan Bailey going to the line to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. That ties the score at 9 with 2:40 remaining in the first quarter.
Now this is a long-standing Catholic tradition, is on the made free throw to sub somebody in so they can get their press set up the way they want.
Absolutely. You see Michael Moreno catch it in the middle there and keep it high instead of putting it on the floor.
It's really a good option to just throw it to him from the inbounds.
Diablo Stewart from deep. That's 3. And if he gets off and running, let's watch him, Coach, because if he hits that first one, watch out.
He could be a big key to the game. If they might have to come out of the zone if he gets hot. I mean, that's the kind of impact he could have on this game.
I totally agree. Sparkman cut off the baseline with Michael Moreno. Out to Keegan Bailey. Ball stolen by Kobe Harris. Back to Cooper Robb. Catholic fans beg to differ. Another one for Diablo. Got it! I told you.
Well, they thought that Kobe Harris double dribbled. He put his hand on the ball and then put it back down and wasn't called, so you got to play on.
Yep.
And Diablo knocks down his second 3.
Nice move inside. Bryce Scott for 2. Strong power move.
Boy, Bryce Scott has got a nice body on him.
Yes, he does.
I bet he can move some people on the football field if he plays.
Now, why Stewart passed that one up, I don't know, because he's already hit 2 in a row. Lorenzo Williams with the board.
And a nice play by Michael Moreno. He was out of position, but the ball bounced long enough he could tip it to Lorenzo without getting the foul called. Ends up 2 points. Big. Those plays are big. Those little tiny things are big in this game.
You get a hand on an offensive rebound, it can lead to somebody else scoring, as Williams did. 17-11, Scott County approaching a minute to play in the first quarter. Bailey being pressured by Harris out front. Doesn't have anywhere to go, picks up his dribble. Bryce Scott, number 2, is Patrick Gohan over to Keegan Bailey. Bailey with the forced shot in the lane, no good. Tapped by Scott. Out of bounds to Scott County. Baseline referee didn't see that, but he's blocked out there, Coach.
And it's good teamwork by the referees. He didn't see it, so he didn't call it. He asked the outside ref for help, and Scott County gets the ball. I think one thing else to notice that's interesting, I just think the man-to-man matchup choices are interesting. Right now we had Cooper Robb guarding big number 45 for Catholic, where Michael was guarding a wing player.
Ball thrown length of the court by Cooper Robb.
That's that center field arm. He's just getting warmed up.
And a quarterback for many years. Throws a strike down to the opposite corner to Kobe Harris. Kobe goes to the hole and gets fouled. He'll have 2. First one's up, got it.
But I know Coach Wilhite does a lot with their matchups, and I'd like to hear what his thoughts were on putting Cooper Robb on the guy that he knows is going to be posting up low and Michael on the wing. It's an interesting matchup.
Well, if you notice last Thursday night against LCA, how big they are, Cooper got in foul trouble because of that. He had to guard someone that was 6'5" and 6'6". Another turnover by Catholic.
Payne just got a little bit of a hurry there. He kind of moved before he had the ball in his hands, and Cooper Robb touches the ball and goes right off Payne's foot. Scott County ball.
It's a good pull up by Michael right there. Maybe should have kept going and pulled up in the lane instead of fading over to his right. Approaching 20 seconds to go in the quarter. Scott County up 18-11. Inside to Payne. Payne against Robb. Turnaround. Good block by Kobe Harris. Not much in body, but in length and arm span, Kobe's got it.
That play right there reminds me of his daddy.
Absolutely.
I mean, Toby would come and help out with those long extendo arms. That was
by
nice
Cooper Robb, rolls out. 0.3 of a second left. See what Catholic does. It is hold on to it. We're going to take a break at the end of one quarter. Scott County 18, Lexington Catholic 11. You're tuned in to the Scott County Sports Network.
Whitaker bank shot. I'll give you a Whitaker bank shot. Here's a real Whitaker bank shot.
Yes, sir. Here's the winning Whitaker bank shot.
Nice shot.
Whitaker bank shot. Now, there's a Whitaker bank shot.
Come on, Coach Honey.
I still got it.
Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
J&L Pharmacy and Home Medical Equipment, located on South Broadway in Georgetown, Kentucky, is locally owned and operated by Scott County native Philip Johnson. J&L Pharmacy can meet all your prescription and compounding needs, and they will match all local pharmacy prescription cash prices, guaranteed. They have a convenient drive-through window, offer free local delivery, and are open 6 days a week. J&L can also provide you with all your home medical needs, including home oxygen with 24-hour emergency service. Stop by the store or give them a call at 502-863-9823 for all your pharmacy needs.
And we're back to Scott County High School on the Scott County Sports Network. We're ready to start the second quarter of play with Scott County leading by 7, 18-11. Coaches, any stats that stick out to you there after one quarter of play?
Well, I think, both teams are shooting a little over 40%, but Catholic's 0 for 4 from the 3, and they have 5 turnovers. So I think that's the difference in the game right now.
And you can normally look at that turnover category. Diablo Stewart again from deep. He is 3 for 3.
And that was some confidence in that. He gave a little rhythm dribble just to shake the man up and then just pulled right in his face.
Absolutely. He's feeling it. He did pass up one that he should have taken in the first quarter there, which this would have probably put him at 4 for 4. Harden back out to Sparkman. Sparkman for a deep jumper. Got it. Big man stepped out and drilled one.
Everybody loves those stretch fours right now, and that's the reason why. If you can hit that trail spot 3-point, it just opens up the lane so much.
Sure does. Good pass. Stewart out to Fluker. Fluker deep in the corner. Got it for 3.
That's pretty basketball.
It really is.
You see who's sagging in to give the help and hit the area where they're supposed to be covering.
Well, look what happens when with Diablo 3 for 3 now. They all gathered around him. There's going to be a foul on Michael Moreno there with the trip. But Diablo puts the ball on the floor. They all go to him. He kicks opposite corner to a wide open Cam Fluker, and he knocks it down.
And those are the kind of things that next time Cam Fluker drives, I bet he looks for Diablo. I mean, those things come back to pay big dividends for the team.
No question. Ball inbounded to Sparkman. Sparkman pressured by Moreno. There's the trap coming. Harden dribbles out of it. Kicks over deep to Sparkman again from 3. No good. Rebound by Moreno. Moreno with the outlet pass to Stewart. Stewart on the dribble. Over to Cam Fluger for another 3. A little short. There's Lorenzo Williams with the board and put back.
2 of them tried to block out Michael, and he still got his hands on the ball again.
That's 8 points for Lorenzo Williams, and I think 6 of those points are putbacks.
Well, and I think 4 of them are after he got his second foul.
Exactly right. Yeah, he hasn't gone to the bench yet after foul number 2.
That's some trust.
Sure is. Backdoor cut to Payne. Payne out to T.C. Price, no good. Rebound by Cooper Robb. Lexington Catholic settling for 3s right now. Almost a turnover there.
Yeah, with shooting 19% on the season, I'm not sure that's what Coach Salzman's wanting them to do. So I would guess that he's going to get them headed back toward the basket again very shortly.
Coach, this is one of the smallest Lexington Catholic teams I've seen in a long time. Usually they have like a Jack Whitman or who was the big man in the middle last year who got cut there in the regional tournament. If you remember how he had to.
I don't remember his name, but I remember who you're talking about.
Yeah. Diablo Stewart. That's 3 on Lorenzo Williams right there. Lorenzo doesn't think he did it, but
he doesn't like it, but he climbed the ladder.
Absolutely, he sure did. He sure did.
He thought he just jumped that high, but I think his hand on that shoulder in front of him boosted him just a little bit.
That's 17 fouls on Scott County.
We got Glenn Covington coming in to replace Lorenzo after Lorenzo picks up his 3rd. Glenn didn't feel like he was in a rhythm in that first quarter. I'm anxious to see how he responds here. We really need him to step up and continue to play well.
Bryce Scott misses the first of the bonus. Cooper Robb down the lane on the other end, draws the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. 26-14, Scott County with their largest lead of 12. 5:38 to go in the second quarter. Coach, what do you think so far?
I think it's a great game. It's high energy. This is pretty quality basketball for this early in the season. I mean, you're talking about only halfway through December. These two teams are playing at a pretty high level right now. Another thing I like, I can't remember the last game when we had this many people in the gym. Now, it's by no means sold out. There's a lot of empty seats on the upper deck, but the bottom level is at least 4/5 full, and the top level, including the band, you got 400 or 500 people up in just the top level.
Yes,
so
you do.
This is a great turnout.
Keegan Bailey with the turnover. Michael Moreno up to Cam Fluker. Fluker over to Diablo Stewart. Stewart on a great pass. Great ball movement. Back to Michael Moreno. Got it. Timeout, Lexington Catholic.
We talked a second ago about unselfishness being, contagious. Well, they passed up 3 really good shots right there and got a great shot from Michael. He nailed that stretch 4. He nailed the 3 from the trail spot again.
Well, we got a full timeout called by Lexington Catholic. We're going to take a short break here. It's Scott County 31, Lexington Catholic 14 with 5:21 to go in the second quarter on the Scott County Sports Network.
Bank, together with you. We offer all the services you're looking for in a financial institution: convenience, great accounts, internet banking, and attentive customer service. With today's hectic pace, it's good to know United Bank meets your needs with locations right where you need them. With 13 offices in Scott, Jessamine, Fayette, and Woodford counties, 24/7 access to cash at our branch ATMs and the Bluegrass Cash locations in Lexington, United Bank is together with you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We're back to Scott County High School. Scott County Cardinals have built a 17-point lead on the Lexington Catholic Knights with 5:21 to go before half. And Coach, I'm gonna give you a stat, and tell me if you can believe Scott County's up by 17 points. Michael Moreno just got his first 3 points of the ball game with 5:21 to go in the second quarter.
And that's he's been involved in a lot of plays. He's tipped balls to other people. He's made outlet passes. He's rebounded the ball. But for that to be his first 3 points, that says something for Scott County. And we talked about that the other night at Frederick Douglass in that third quarter when we made the huge run. Michael was on the bench. And so for those guys to step up and know that they can score too, that's huge for the team concept. And it just shows how unselfishly they're playing right now.
Well, and sometimes it just goes with who's playing the best that night. What's your best combo? What's your best 5 on the floor? It might not be your 5 best players, but it's your best 5 right then. Scott County got a turnover. Back on the offensive end. Great pass to Michael Moreno. Assist Cooper Robb. Scott County.
That's the kind of thing they're going to love at Charlotte. Cooper Robb drives the baseline, gets 2 people to guard him, and knows that post player is coming right down the lane and just drops it off for him.
And Michael gets a steal there and gets a little lackadaisical with the ball. Stolen back by Glenn Covington. Ball thrown to the other end, stolen back by Keegan Bailey. Bailey on the move. Great Euro step around Cooper Robb for the bucket. That's 4 points for Bailey. Swung around Diablo Stewart. I don't know why he's passing up the jumper, but he threw it over to Cam Fluker from the corner. No good. I'd be telling Diablo, keep firing.
Yeah, I don't know what that's a great unselfish play, but sometimes you're the one that's open. You got to put it in the hole.
Absolutely. And then he comes to the other end and fouls Keegan Bailey on a 3-point opportunity. Bailey to the line to shoot 3. Scott County 33, Lexington Catholic 16. 4 minutes to go before half. Keegan Bailey at the line shooting 3. First one up is good.
Keegan Bailey's had a nice game so far. He's taken a couple balls to the hole. He's been under control the entire game. He's had a nice game so far.
Scott County like to blow this thing open, but they've turned it over a couple times and they're having a couple empty possessions when they've had an opportunity to get it, a little 20-plus point lead.
And just kind of lackadaisical.
Yep.
They were trying real hard, just poor decision making on a couple of those passes, which led to a basket and then has led to a 3. So we've got to tighten it back up.
Got pressure on Stewart. Cooper Robb throws the ball in. Michael Moreno to foul on that. Where's that back tip again as Michael got ready to put the ball on the floor. You can't be in the middle of the floor and put the ball on the floor because they're going to get you from behind. Glenn Covington for 3 from the corner. No good. He gets his own rebound. Great hustle play. Stolen by T.C. Price. Glenn Covington with another hand on it. Cam Fluker draws the foul from Javen Harden on, again, Cam Fluker, scrap.
And Glenn was doing the same thing.
Yes.
That's good to see him playing hard.
especially when they're not hitting shots.
It would be nice if on offense they could flip their brains to, okay, I'm going to play under control now. But there's a little crossover from the defensive intensity to offensive inefficiency at the moment.
Good pass, Moreno to high post. Moreno dribbles out of pressure. Over to Fluker. Fluker off the screen. Michael Moreno. Fluker pull up, rims out. Rebound by Keegan Bailey.
That's a good shot. They'll let Cam Fluker take that shot anytime.
Up to T.C. Price. He just missed the layup because of Michael Moreno. Ball off. Michael Moreno made a nice hustle play there. Threw the ball off of Sparkman. Scott County ball. Cooper Robb inbounds the ball. Diablo Stewart up the left side of the floor. He beats the pressure, but got him coming behind him. That's when you think, when you have that ball in your hand, because I remember it used to happen. I remember that feeling of going, uh-oh, I just beat these two guys. Sure enough, there comes that hand behind you to back tip you.
Well, and you also got to wonder, we've got headsets on, so I don't know if they were calling it out, but your teammates have to tell you that there's somebody coming up behind you.
Exactly right. Long three by Stewart, no good. Rebound Catholic. Catholic on the offensive end. Harden over to Sparkman. Sparkman to Bailey. Bailey around to Zan Payne. Zan Payne's been quiet, Coach.
He has. We haven't called his name much at all.
He's got a big body on him tonight, Michael Moreno. I don't understand a lot of times the referee will bail the offensive player out when they're forcing something and they're getting ready to take a bad shot.
Yeah, the kid dribbled himself into some trouble there, but there was some contact.
Yep.
So it's a tough job those guys have. I don't want to. I do not ever want to wear the stripes. I didn't even like doing it in team camp.
Right. Well, especially when you look on your schedule and you say, I got Lexington Catholic and Scott County tonight.
Yeah, you know you're going to sweat through that shirt tonight.
Yep. The junior Javen Harden at the line. Shoot the bonus. First one's up. Got it. That's his first point tonight. Scott County with a 13-point lead, 33-20. 2:27 to go in the second quarter. Harden's second shot, got it. What Catholic wants to do is not try to get this back. Well, obviously they want it back all at once, but they want to try to cut that 17-point lead in half, before you go into the locker room. When you're down 17 in the second quarter, you want to try to cut it in half. Token pressure, great ball movement. Fluker, a bad shot. He needed to bring that one out. His size really got him right there.
Yeah, and I think he could have gone up into the body and gotten a foul. The worst option is to do the dipsy-do where the ball's way far away from your body and the percentage of you making the shot goes way down.
Covington for three, no good. Scott County's it's like my turn now. Well, the guy, he saw Covington open and threw it right to him. Sparkman did. And then I'm trying to catch everybody up. And then Covington turns it back over. So it's Lexington Catholic's ball after a Covington turnover. Covington looks a little frustrated right now. His shot won't go. That's where he needs to find other ways to help, as he usually does on the defensive end. He's very physical.
Yeah, his defense has been good still, and he hasn't put his head down, so that's improvement.
Yes,
that's the thing that they want to see. You keep playing hard.
T.C. Price with the pull up at the foul line, no good. Rebound Diablo Stewart. Minute and a half to go in the second quarter. Scott County with a commanding 10-point lead. Scott County running a little flex right now. Senior Josh Davis in the ball game. Michael Moreno for three, got it. Michael's 8 points real quick.
It's nice to see him step out there. He's so versatile.
He really is. Really, really is. T.C. Price baseline drive. Kicks it out. Ben Johnson, no good. Another rebound by Moreno. And the baseball pass to the other end that landed in the concession stand, Coach. A little bit too much on it from Moreno there.
I think it was to Josh Davis, so he wanted to show the strength of his arm and just got a little carried away.
He said, Josh, you can run a go route and I'll throw it to you. What Michael needs to see right there, though, Coach, look at the time on the clock. You got a minute to go. You just got a rebound. You just went up 13 points. Let's get a good possession right there. Let's get a bucket.
Yeah, it's always important to know time and score. But he's also very good at those outlet passes most of the time.
Yes,
it's a good play.
Yes, he is. There's just hands everywhere tonight. These referees are having trouble keeping up with it. Ball knocked out of bounds to Lexington Catholic. They're going to inbound side out. Well, they gave him look at the spot they give him there. If it was football, they'd say bad spot. Ball rotated out to Harden. Keegan cutting over to T.C. Price. T.C. Price on the pull-up. No good. Rebounded by Glenn Covington. Covington down to Josh Davis. Davis with a got bailed out on a bad pass by Moreno. Out to Davis. Davis has no idea how much time's on the clock. He's getting ready to pull the trigger.
I tell you what, that was Michael coming out of there with that ball was impressive. Two crews around him and
not only
a low pass below his knee, and he yanks it out of there, and Scott County's going to get the last shot of the half because he did.
Scott County a 13-point lead, approaching 10 seconds. See if they go with about 8 right here, Coach, as they should. Josh Davis for 3, no good. Rebounded out.
He's got time.
Zan Payne. Oh, my goodness. Exclamation point to end the half. Zan Payne with the monster dunk over Josh Davis.
Yeah, so Scott County shot it a little before they probably should have. And then didn't get back on defense thinking the half was going to run out, and there was 4.5 seconds left.
Well, Diablo Stewart there reached for Zan Payne instead of moving his feet and retrieving back with him. That ends the first half. Scott County 36, Lexington Catholic 25. We're going to go to halftime and thank our sponsors here on the Scott County Sports Network.
For oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know. Frank Shoot.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoop in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
Shoot. He's big on service and he's big on deals. Frank Shoot. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoot's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoot is gonna set the pace.
United Bank, together with you. We offer all the services you're looking for in a financial institution: convenience, great accounts, internet banking, and attentive customer service. With today's hectic pace, it's good to know United Bank meets your needs with locations right where you need them. With 13 offices in Scott, Jessamine, Fayette, and Woodford counties, 24/7 access to cash at our branch ATMs, and the Bluegrass Cash locations in Lexington, United Bank is together with you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, Dick Stockton here. I've been announcing sports for over 40 years, and I know a winning team when I see one. Greens Toyota of Lexington has what it takes to win, which is why Greens is Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 2 years running. Family owned for over 40 years, Greens strives to give excellent customer service and best value for the dollar. No matter what department, parts, service, or sales, Greens continues to move forward doing business the right way every day. Be a part of Greens' winning team. Greens Toyota. Great people, great cars, think green.
And welcome back to Scott County High School. Thank you for tuning in to the Scott County Sports Network. Coach, first half, anything, as we go over the stats here, anything glaring stick out? Scott County is holding a 36-25 lead. They've led as many as 17 points early in the second quarter. Lexington Catholic seemed like they kind of got it back together a little bit there. Had some they forced some Scott County turnovers, a couple bad shots, but looking at the stats, what do you see so far?
Well, I agree with you. I think that, we were up 17. We had a really nice opportunity, even within the flow of the game, to score some points. We missed a couple jumpers that we had hit earlier in the game. We made a few turnovers that we hadn't made earlier in the game and gave them a chance to pull it back in with that posterizing dunk that Zan Payne did right before the half. You just hope that that's not deflating to the Cardinals as they go in, that, sometimes somebody jams right on your head. You're not used to that.
Hey, and we talk about the Big Mo. Everybody wants the Big Mo. Even if it cut the lead to 11, it's still a dunk before half or a three-pointer before half. It gives you a lot of momentum going into, ready to start the third quarter.
Yeah, and that play was also indicative of some other things that happened in the first half where we gave them runouts. And they didn't always score on it, but they got fouled a few times, and then they got the dunk at the end. They had some good looks that they missed. So I think transition defense is going to be important. Looking through the stat sheet right here for Lexington Catholic, Jamin Harden had 4 points and 1 rebound. T.C. Price, 2 points and 1 rebound. Keegan Bailey, 8 points and 1 rebound. Max Sparkman had 5 points and 1 rebound. And Zan Payne had 4 points and 8 rebounds. Bryce Scott had 2 points and 1 rebound. For the Cardinals, Cam Fluker had 3 points, 1 rebound. Cooper Robb had 7 points and 3 rebounds. Diablo Stewart had 9 points and 1 rebound. Ben Covington, no points but 2 rebounds. You got Michael Moreno with 8 points and 4 rebounds. And Lorenzo Williams with 6 points and 4 rebounds. Kobe Harris also had 3 points for the Cardinals to round out their scoring. So some balanced scoring. I thought Diablo was hot for a second, and then it's almost like I don't know if he just realized, hey, I might be shooting too much and I'm the new guy on the team or what, but man, somebody encouraged that boy to shoot it back up at the hole. He was in fuego.
That's exactly right. I mean, I think that hopefully it'll be touched on at halftime by Coach Hicks about, Diablo, when you're hot, that's how you, as a shooter, you want to stay in rhythm. And it's not hogging the ball. He passed up a couple of open shots. Now, one of them he threw over to Cam in the corner and got a 3 out of it. But I would tell Diablo to keep pumping. When we return from a short break, we're going to go over the keys to the second half. And again, just touch a little bit on this heated rivalry and what we've seen thus far, and what we can expect in the second half. Thank you for tuning in to the Scott County Sports Network.
Box combo, please.
At Raising Cane's, we do one thing, and we do it better than anyone else. So why not let our food do the talking? Love in the window. Raising Cane's, only the best chicken finger meals. One love.
Visit our Scottsdale location today at 74th and Shea.
The Hockensmith Agency is proud to call Scott County home. We're your Main Street insurance that blends tradition and innovation to offer the best quality service to our clients. By offering a wide range of coverage from the impressive list of major insurance companies, we truly meet your insurance coverage needs. Come visit us at 224 East Main in Georgetown or online at HockensmithAgency.com. The Hockensmith Agency, providing coverage for the Motorist Insurance Group for all your insurance needs.
Whitaker bank shot. I'll give you a Whitaker bank shot.
All right. Here's a real Whitaker bank shot.
Yes, sir. Here's a winning Whitaker bank shot.
Nice shot.
Whitaker bank shot. Now, there's a Whitaker bank shot.
Come on, Coach Honey.
I still got it.
Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
Believe that.
Sports Connection is your team and retail sporting goods and custom athletic apparel supplier. Sports Connection is located next to Kroger in the Washington Square Shopping Center in Georgetown. Sports Connection can outfit your team from hats to shoes and everything in between. Drop by or call Daryl, Scott, or Jessica at 502-570-0280. Sports Connection, a proud sponsor and athletic and sporting goods supplier to Scott County and Georgetown College athletics.
And welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Scott County High School, where after one half of play, it's Scott County 36, Lexington Catholic 25. Scott County's come back out on the floor to warm up for the second half. We've yet to see Lexington Catholic. Coach, what do you think is being said in Lexington Catholic's locker room right now?
I got to think that Salzman thinks he's right in this game. Their press has not had an effect much on Scott County because we were able to throw it to Michael right in the middle. I might guess that he's going to make an adjustment to the press to not let that happen. That would be one of the things I would guess that Salzman's going to do. But right now, the rebounds are total rebounds for the team. Lexington Catholic has 18, and Scott County has 16. So that's a telling stat right there. Turnovers, you got Lexington Catholic with 11, Scott County with 7. So if I'm him, I'm talking to my team about, if we take care of the ball, we continue to rebound, we're going to be right in this game. So those are the things I think Salzman's saying to his group. I think Coach Hicks, Coach Wilhite, Coach Glenn, Coach Mattingly, they came out pretty quick. They came out of the locker room pretty quick, so I think they must be fairly pleased with what's going on the floor right now. I do think that our game took a step down when Lorenzo got his third foul and had to come out of the game. And so I think it's important for Lorenzo to stay in the game because he was playing well. He was getting all the scrap plays, and Michael would tip a rebound, and he would end up with it and score 2 points. He's playing good defense on the ball. So those things are the things I think Coach Hicks is talking to his team about.
Which is what Lorenzo gives you every game. Some games he's going to come out, and when he plays on the offensive end within himself and he's scoring off of fast breaks and putbacks, Lorenzo's at his best because he's going to give you – he's a player that gives you everything on the defensive end. And on the offensive end, I don't want to say that he's limited, but when he figures out that he's playing within himself in that game and he's going to score off of going to the basket, he's going to score off transition, that's when he's at his best.
Right. One other stat I think that Coach Hicks has probably talked to his team about, we're only 3 for 5 from the free throw line. And you talked about it in the first half, how we're standing around some. When you only shoot 5 free throws and a half, you're not attacking the basket like we need to be. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if we're not driving to the basket a little bit harder.
No question. It's almost like we're anticipating something nasty happen in the half or between both teams. It's been clean. This is a clean, nice game.
It has.
You got you got only 18 combined turnovers in the half. You got Lexington Catholic is shooting 41%. Scott County shooting 42%. So it's kind of even. Besides on the scoreboard there with Scott County, they're up 36-25. Ready to inbound the ball for the second half. It's going to be Lexington Catholic's ball. Scott County comes back out. Looks like they've got Diablo Stewart starting back along with Lorenzo Williams, Glenn Covington, Michael Moreno, and Cooper Robb. Lexington Catholic goes with Hardin Johnson, T.C. Price, Zan Payne, and Keegan Bailey. Inbound the ball over to Bailey in the trap area immediately. Over to Zan Payne, free throw line jumper, got it.
Well, that's frustrating for the Scott County staff because they got a good trap there. They just
got a hand on it.
Just didn't get the pass.
Diablo Stewart for 3, got it.
Maybe somebody talked to him at halftime and said, shoot the ball.
I guess they may have heard us say something up here, Keith, because I sure would have said Diablo. I always say the ball's got to go through Michael Moreno, but then I would say it goes to Moreno, and then if Moreno doesn't have it, kick it out to Stewart. Drive by Hardin, no good. Rebounded by Michael Moreno. Stewart on a hard drive over to Cooper Robb for 3, no good. Renzo about picked up number 4 right there. Rebounded by Payne. Payne, beautiful pass.
Well, I tell you, there's every time we've had a missed shot, Catholic has had a chance to run.
Absolutely.
That's something that needs to be corrected in the long term because that's happened in more than one game.
Yep. T.C. Price with the bucket there off the beautiful feed. Lorenzo with the pull-up. I think they're going to call him for the charge. They're going to get a block here. Going to block on Payne.
He called it on Payne.
Yeah.
I was worried because he put his hand out for the push. Yeah. Usually that means the offense did it.
Absolutely. Lorenzo Williams at the line for 2.
That was a big call because that would have been 4 on Lorenzo if that would have been a charge on him.
With less than, haven't even played hardly a minute. Lorenzo just got his 9th point. And point number 10. A really good free throw shooter. I'm glad to see that Lorenzo, as hard as he plays, he's going to get to the line, and he's a good free throw shooter. Hardin under token pressure, now picked up by Williams. Williams dogging him pretty hard. Payne at the free throw line with Moreno on him, kicks it back out to Hardin. Hardin back to Payne. Moreno down, playing good defense. Crossover dribble spin, great move. About got number 4 again. He's flirting, Coach. Lorenzo Williams is. Over to Moreno. Moreno with the pull-up, no good. The tap, no good. Rebound Johnson. Johnson over to Keegan. Bailey. Bailey over to Payne and throws the ball out of bounds.
That was just karma right there because they missed a walk, and so he threw it out of bounds. We got the ball.
Settle the Scott County fans down who were calling for the walk. Ball inbounded to Stewart. Stewart with an errant pass that got a hand on to T.C. Price. Price up to Bailey. Bailey with the layup over Stewart. Got it.
I'm not real sure what Diablo thought he saw there. I don't know if he didn't see the defender, but that was just a...
I saw two of them standing there.
That was a bad pass.
Starting to dribble a little bit. Moreno with the force. Fouls on Payne. Moreno to the line for 2.
He did a Euro step there, but I wonder if they're making a concerted effort. They've already, this is free throws number 3 and 4. We only went to the line 5 times in the first half. So
first one up, rolls off. Michael so far with 8 points, and I imagine he's probably approaching the 10 rebound mark as well. Second one up, rolls in. Moreno with 9 points. Scott Kenny going to pick up with the pressure. 3-quarter court pressure here. Cooper Robb guarding T.C. Price, drilling over to the trapping area. Here comes the trap by Glenn Covington. There it is. Bailey struggling. Ball to Covington. Up to Moreno. Moreno with the layup. Got it. Beautiful pass.
That was nice
Glenn
offense.
Covington. Really was.
And the defense, they just sent Glenn. It wasn't really a great trap option. He just sent him. Here he goes again.
And he keeps.
They're going to make number 1 handle the ball against the trap.
Harden keeps dribbling in the same area there, and Scott County is welcoming him. Good drive by Price. Price out to Ben Johnson. Got it.
Ben Johnson.
That's Ben Johnson's first points of the ball game. Diablo Stewart dribbles up in the trap over to Michael Moreno. Moreno right outside the 3-point line, cuts down the lane. Tries to throw it to Lorenzo Williams. It gets deflected out of bounds by Javen Harden. Scott County to inbound. Inbounded to Stewart out around the midcourt line. Stewart needs to stay out of that trap. Over to Moreno. Moreno with the jumper from 15. Got it.
That's a big-time shot.
Yeah, it is.
A little Jack Sigma move where you just drag your foot back and square yourself up, and that's a 16, 17-foot jumper.
Sure is.
With a hand in the face. Payne answers right back.
That's 8 for Payne. Michael gave him what you guys said, putting it on the floor against the press. He cannot do that. He's got to watch out. Michael, great spin. Need to use the glass right there. You see where his eyes were there, Coach? They weren't up on the board yet when he shot the ball.
Well, and on the spin, he ended up behind the backboard.
Yeah, he did. There's number 4 on Lorenzo.
Lorenzo's 4th right there. Can't help himself.
That's his 4th, team first. At the line, for Catholic, Zach Payne, for 2.
Payne at the line shooting 2. First one up, got it.
And that was another situation, Derek, where we missed a shot. We missed a 2-footer, and they get the rebound, and they're down the floor before we are.
And shooting a layup.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. Payne's second free throw, got it. Post-sale substitutions for Lexington Catholic. That's Payne's 10th point. Bryce Scott into the ball game. Sparkman into the ball game. Johnson. Patrick Gogan. Cooper Robb with the drive down the middle with the tip. No good. Ball rolls out. Diablo Stewart for 3. Got it. That's his 15th point. And I do believe he's probably, about 5 for 6 or 5 for 7 from 3, Coach.
Yeah, which is a nice percentage. Anything you're over 30% is shooting it well.
Great rebound by Bryce Scott. Saw Michael Moreno next to him and short-armed it. Diablo Stewart behind the back to Moreno. Moreno for 3. No, it's bad offense there. And Michael says it. He says, my fault.
Yeah, so just a little quick. He can make that shot, but it's not what you want to take right off the bat necessarily.
I took 1,000 of them, so I'm not going to ever say a word about taking a bad shot. Of course, there was none that I didn't like, Keith. I was always open.
That's what Tim Glenn told me.
He did a good job. He was so quick. I just had to stand out there because he's going to beat you off the dribble. Ball around to Glenn Covington. Scott Kenny running a little offense here. I like it.
That top pass, top ball-to-ball, top pass is tough against the zone.
Yep. Cooper Robb's forcing a little bit right now. Bad fadeaway jumper there. They're running offense. He can get that. He can get that shot anytime. He needs to get it within the offense.
Well,
Ball out to Sparkman.
He's quick enough
that
he could drive to the basket, but the last time he did that, he missed a little jumper. So
timeout on the floor, Lexington Catholic. That is let's see if this is going to be a full timeout. Scott County leads 49-41 with 2:41 to go. We're going to take a short break here. You're watching Scott County Sports Network.
County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
And we're back to Scott County High School, where Scott County is holding an 8-point lead, 49-41, with 2:41 to go in the third quarter. And Coach, this is Lexington Catholic's on a little run. This is as close as they've been since the first quarter.
Catholics being very efficient right now. They're taking advantage of every possession. And Scott County's kind of scoring just here and there, so they've creeped back into this game after being down 17 at one point.
Diablo Stewart up against the press. Long pass to Cam Fluker. Cam with a good look to Michael, but a hand got on it. Again, there's been some plays tonight where Cam's size has been to his disadvantage. Payne out to T.C. Price. T.C. Price over in the corner. Ball swung around. Kazan Payne. Great spin on the baseline. Fouled by Landon Easley. Sorry. Steps called. Turnover Payne. Ball goes back to the Cardinals.
You know, they'll call that a lot of times. If you spin move and pick it up to score and you're outside of about 8 feet, it's hard not to walk.
It is, but you know what? They call that, and then this whole Euro step thing that I see some guys do, I mean, I'm thinking, you're picking the ball up and taking almost 3 steps with it. It's got to be a walk, but they don't call it. Diablo Stewart out to Cooper Robb. Cooper drives in, top of the key, flips it back out to Stewart. Stewart being guarded by Payne. Stewart needs to step up and crack that thing right there. He's hot. Easily doesn't need to be handling the ball that high on the floor. But
they're running their flex
cut. Yeah,
so
exactly.
You end up
right.
everywhere.
Yep.
But that guard-to-guard pass is dangerous against the 2-3 zone.
Yep. Minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Scott County 49, Lexington Catholic 41. Scott County being patient on offense right here. Let's see if they get a good shot out of being patient. I think that's what the timeout was for by Coach Hicks there a few minutes ago, Keith.
And we were taking too fast of shots, and we're throwing the ball away some.
Another timeout taken.
Now we just gone stagnant, so the coach has to take a timeout to fix that problem.
Also to get Michael Moreno back in.
One thing that Mark has been mentioning in every game, Derek, is that this is the 100th year centennial celebration of Kentucky high school basketball in the state. That's being celebrated. I heard the voice of the Cardinals announce it over the PA system before the game started. It's pretty special to have 100 years of quality high school basketball in this state. A lot of pride.
And it's
a lot of history.
Absolutely, Keith, and it's extremely special to me and my family because what high school basketball meant to my family with my father coaching here for 20 years and my brother and I both playing here and my sister cheering here, and I'll go ahead and state that she was the only one that ever made it to the state tournament, as a cheerleader. So, yeah, she's always got that on Mike and I. Back to action. Ball being kicked around. Turnover Cooper Robb. Ball goes back to Lexington Catholic. But 100 years, that's pretty special.
And Catholic out of the timeout, counters with its quick trap, and we turn it over. A little sloppy right here.
Absolutely.
Cardinals need to lock in.
Keegan Bailey to the left of the key. Bounce pass to T.C. Price. Price takes Cooper Robb. Spin left hand. Beautiful off the glass. I like his game, Coach.
Yeah, he's under control.
Yeah. He's one of those experienced guys, too. He's been on that. He's played since he was a freshman. Wow. we've seemed to relax a little bit on the offensive end, and Catholic seems to turn it up on both ends. Scott County up only 6 points after leading by as many as 17 in the second quarter. 30 seconds to go. Stewart in the lane. Out to Cooper Robb. Cooper Robb for three. Got it.
Well, that's good to see. Good to see.
Absolutely.
Hopefully it leads to several good plays right here. Cooper could use a little spark. I tell you, though, that Derek, that's the Catholic way. They do a nice job of adjusting throughout the game and making changes to what you're doing on offense, so that the third quarter, they've got it pretty much figured out. If you don't make an adjustment again, then you're playing their game. And so I think it's going to be interesting to see what Scott County goes to. They've been running that flex offense, and Catholic's just standing there now. They know where you're going to cut.
Absolutely.
So we've got to do something a little different.
Approaching 10 seconds now. Scott County clinging to a 9-point lead in the third quarter. Harden drives, a late whistle. Coach Hicks doesn't like that one at all. And again, I think Harden forced the issue right there, and I think that was a good no call. It could have been a good no call. It should have been, but the foul was called. Harden to the line for 2.
Yeah, he got into Easley's chest.
First one up, rims out.
I tell you this, at the at the halftime of the Kentucky-North Carolina game in the tournament last year, that was a no call.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. 5 seconds here. Cooper Robb's going to use his speed up the court for a layup.
Really nice.
Wow.
Good job, Cooper Robb.
Yeah. Cooper Robb finishes the quarter with 5 straight points. Scott County goes up 10 points, 54-44. We're going to take a short break. You're watching Scott County Sports Network.
County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
And we're back to Scott County High School on the Scott County Sports Network. We're going into quarter number 4, Scott County Lexington Catholic. Scott County holding a 10-point lead, 54-44. Coach, what about that quarter there? I think Lexington Catholic you know what? Scott County was up 9 at half. So Scott County won that quarter +1 there.
And really, that's all that matters. If you win the quarter, you've done your job. It is going to be interesting to see. I think that Catholic still feels like they've got all their one run away right here, and so it's going to be interesting to see how they play this fourth quarter.
You know, the thing about this Catholic team, they're not big, but they do have experience. You know, they got juniors and seniors out there, one freshman and Ben Johnson. But they're a team that when you get to EKU, I think they're going to be tough to be, a force. But anyway, getting out of their district with LCA, my goodness, that district's tough. Over to Ben Johnson for 3, no good. Lorenzo Williams back in with 4 fouls. 4 fouls, goes up high for the rebound. Cooper Robb, who scored the last 5 points of the quarter, brings it up on the point. Pulls up for 3, no good. He's right there. Cooper needs to have a little bit more lift coming off the screen and square his shoulders a little more. Over to Payne. Payne short corner to Johnson. Johnson back into Payne on the post with the kick out. No good by T.C. Price. Cooper Robb up for the rebound.
That's fortunate, right? That he was wide open. T.C. Price couldn't ask for him. I mean, nobody even ran at him.
They're getting the shots that they want, just not falling right now. Scott County looks like they're going to run some offense here. Into Michael Moreno with the spin. Beautiful foul on Payne. That's all Payne really can do. When Moreno gets you on his butt there and he spins and he still has you and you still have body contact with him, he's going to draw a foul. He's going to score.
Well, and they've gone to Michaels intentionally twice to start the fourth quarter. So it must have been a coaching decision to say, the first play of the game, they just dribbled down, cleared out the side, and threw him the ball. So they're making an effort to get him the ball, and they need him to take him home right here.
Well, as a coach with a Michael Moreno, that's going to make you look pretty good if you come out and set that play up to him a lot of times, you know?
That's right.
Michael with 2 misses in a row there. That's very uncommon for him. I think it means fatigue a little bit there, Coach.
Well, he let that ball roll off his pinky a little bit.
Yeah.
Just both of them were to the right. It's unusual for him. He's got such a smooth stroke.
He does. You know, I talked to Michael last year when he missed a couple free throws down in Nashville, or it was in a Toyota Classic or whatever. He came up and sat behind us, and I said, Michael, you're backing up when you shoot the ball. Stay in all the way till the ball hits the floor, through the net, or whatever. Stay in. Next game after that, he shot a couple and stayed in and hit them both and kind of looked at me and gave a smile. But it's the little things like that that you know from experience that you have to, on a free throw, your momentum has to be, if you're falling anywhere, you should be falling towards the bucket. But
Right.
you want to teach a kid, you should have good balance and everything should be on your toes. You know, ball not in the palm of your hands, on your fingertips. Diablo Stewart over to Marino. Cooper Robb pulls up from about 17, got it.
I tell you what, Diablo Stewart right there showed some poise. He took 2 speed dribbles, stopped to see and evaluate where everybody was, took 2 more speed dribbles and knew where he was going with the ball. Good offense right there by him against the press.
Oh, great hands again. Cooper Robb again. Wrong side, followed up by Michael Marino. Good. Michael Marino's 15th point right there. Timeout called, full timeout called by Lexington Catholic coach Brandon Salzman. Scott Kenny goes back up 14 points, 58-44 with 5:47 to go in the fourth quarter. We're going to take a short break. You're watching Scott County Sports Network.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's action.
And we're back to action in the fourth quarter with 5:47 remaining. Scott County with a commanding 58-44 lead after Lexington Catholic had come to within 8 points there in the third quarter, Coach.
Well, that was a great last play right there. I mean, a lot of people won't even talk about it, but Cooper Robb had a breakout, and they could have sat back on their heels and not run the floor, but Michael Moreno sprints the floor. You know, he's not a prima donna. That man is playing hard.
Absolutely.
Sprints the floor. Cooper ends up having to shoot it with his left hand and it doesn't go in, and Michael's right there just for the offensive rebound and the stick back. You want to know why he's a double-double machine? Because he goes after the ball.
And it's all about what you mentioned. It's all about the sprint. If you can teach kids to sprint, especially big guys like Michael, because you're going to get the opposing team's big guy, probably not going to do that a lot of times. And he's very athletic enough that he runs down the court just like you said and pick up some, you know, we don't like calling them garbage baskets, but you know what? Those layups that are missed, he pulls them off and sticks them back in.
That's right.
And in the meantime, Lorenzo Williams picked up foul number 5 on Javen Harden driving to the bucket. He goes to the bench, being replaced by Cam Fluker. Lorenzo finishes the game with 10 points.
Lorenzo played a great game.
He did.
He needs his teammates to step up and continue to take this puppy home.
First one up by Harden, no good. And Lorenzo's going to foul out of some games. You know why? Because he plays so hard.
That's right.
And I'll never knock a kid for fouling out when he's playing hard. You know, he gives you 10 points, probably going to give you close to, he's almost a double-double guy. He's going to give you, 5 or 6 rebounds a ball game. He's going to get some assists, and he's going to deflections and steals. Second free throw by Harden was good. It's his third point of the ball game. Catholic's able to set up the press. Into Marino. Marino foul. Oh, rolls out. Foul is on Sparkman. Marino goes to the line shooting 2.
You know, that's 2 now that he's had the opportunity to get an and one on, and I'm going to have to call out his dad right here. I spent a lot of time with his father. He played for us at Georgetown College. And I beat that man with the football pad so that he would finish every and one that we had. And I know Anelio is listening right now with some of his buddies from Tennessee. Anelio, you know I love you, but I might have to go down there and hit Michael with that football pad if he's not going to get and ones on those opportunities to finish like that.
And, you know, Michael, the moves that he makes are fantastic, but if you notice, if you're off balance just a little bit, you take that blow and it's hard to finish. If Michael goes through somebody's chin, if you go up through somebody's chin, Michael's strength, he's going to get an and one.
And it's all about getting used to that contact. It's something that you have to practice.
Exactly right.
You have to get used to it and take pride in getting the and one. And I'm giving his dad a hard time, but he was really good at that. And he could shoot the three, too. You know, 6'8". He claimed it was about 220, but I think it might have been closer to 240. He was a big old boy and played great for us at Georgetown College.
Son's got a bright future, I know that. Zan Payne on the other end with 3. Scott County up 13, 60-47. Get a 30-second timeout on this end. Cam Fluker got a little bit in trouble. Coach Hicks jumped up and said, let's talk about this just for a few minutes.
Yeah, he just wanted to save the possession there. He thought that we were going to get another turnover, and at this point, every possession is important. And he's got plenty of timeouts, so he saves the possession there, gathers them up, and hopefully out of this timeout, we'll score a basket. But you never know. Out of a timeout, Catholic's going to do something different.
Yeah, you got to know what Coach Hicks is talking about here. He has to know what Catholic is going to do when we inbound the ball. But we have to counteract that with, we came out of the timeout last quarter, got the ball to Michael immediately and scored. So I think that's what Coach Hicks is doing right now. Plus, he's saying, let's don't get back in any more situations where Cam Fluker's in the trapping area there. Let's don't do it. Let's keep the ball out of the trapping areas, because right now, with 4:48 to go on a 13-point lead, the clock is your enemy right now when you have the lead.
Yeah, taking care of the ball. I mean, we had 16 turnovers at the end of the third quarter. And that's what we're averaging for the year right now, and that's only at the end of the third quarter. We got to take care of the basketball to hang on for this game.
Absolutely. Back to action. Both teams back out of the huddle. Scott County with Diablo, Stewart, Cooper, Robb, Cam Fluker, Michael Moreno, and Glenn Covington as they inbound the ball on their end, on their offensive end. Catholic comes out and they got their 1-2-2 trap going on here. Scott County needs to hit the corners. Get the ball to the middle. Diablo Stewart can't dribble through it. That's the hard part. Good pass. Fluker fakes everybody up. Misses the layup. Ball comes down to Ben Johnson. Johnson out to Harden at midcourt. Harden with a beautiful pass down low to Sparkman. Sparkman with a big spin. Got it. That's his 10th point of the night. Now they can pick up pressure after a Scott County missed layup on this end. Cam gave a good head fake there, Coach. Just so happened that he's 5'5", and the rest of them under there are over 6 foot.
He's got caught down there twice.
Yes, he has.
They've made the exact right pass, but Cam's been a little outsized and haven't been able to get it in the hole.
16 foul on Lexington Catholic. Robb inbounds the ball to Diablo Stewart at midcourt.
It'd be interesting to see. Now we've gone away from the dribble weave this time.
And one.
There's my and one.
There it is. There it is.
Emilio, he heard me talking about getting that pad out. And now you know
he texts Michael. Michael picked his phone up over there and heard. He said, "Coach Greiser."
Good for him. Well, I think it's important right there. When we did the dribble weave the last time, our offense was way out there by half court. And this time we put everybody down by the blocks, so Catholic didn't get that pressure on us, and we got a nice look for Michael.
It's always in the middle. If you want to break that trap, keep the ball in the middle of the floor, and good things are going to happen. That's Michael Moreno's 20th point of the night. Back on the other end, Zan Payne, the 15-foot jumper. Quick timeout called by Brendan Salzman.
So sometimes at this point in the game, Catholic will change their 2-2-1 press and face guard. So they'll, instead of letting you get it in and then guiding you up the sideline, they'll scoot around to the front and make the inbounds pass hard. It'd be interesting to see if that's what they do here.
Well, you're talking about the clock being the enemy for Scott County, who's got the 12-point lead. The clock's also the enemy for Catholic, because they're going to have to make things happen here. And they're going to have to be very efficient on the offensive end, and they got to do it fast.
That's right.
Scott County 63, Lexington Catholic 51, 3 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the game. Which, Coach, it's been a pretty clean game. I mean, you said that, Scott County's right at their turnover average. I don't know the turnovers for Lexington Catholic right now. I'm sure they're right around that. They could have more turnovers than Scott County. But it's been
they've got
been a good
16.
ball game. Yeah. So we're looking at 34 turnovers combined with these two teams. And as you said before, their face guard Diablo Stewart. And I don't ever understand why Scott County has one man against two. Here we go. Ball being kicked around. Diablo Stewart, Cooper Robb. They need to get the ball up the floor. Michael Moreno on the dribble. The three-point line back out front to Cooper Robb to set things up. 3.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Scott County up 12 points.
It wasn't pretty, but we got it up.
Punted a couple times, didn't we? Diablo Stewart for three. Wide open. Got it. Might not want to give him that. That's 18 for Diablo, all behind the arc.
I think they were all worried about we were going to run that curl for Michael again coming off the block.
Zan Payne for three. He's getting close to his average. That's 18 for him. A quiet 18, I may add.
All except that one dunk. That dunk
that was thunderous. Good pass. Michael Moreno with the dunk. Beautiful no-look pass on the baseline. What's funny about the no-look there, he was no-looking into the Scott County student section, so it's almost like, well, who are you looking off? There's nobody over there.
Well, there's a guy with a camera down there.
There you go.
Pose for.
There you go. And
Michael dunked that one so hard he broke the rim for just a second.
He sure did. 22nd point from Michael Moreno with the flush. Keegan Bailey on the dribble. Over to Harden. Needs to show a little bit more urgency, Lexington Catholic does. Ball down to Payne. Payne with Moreno on him with the dribble to the baseline. Back out front to T.C. Price. Stolen by Cooper Robb. Cooper's going to get up. Oh, I thought he was going to dunk.
But it was kind of a dunk. He laid it in and grabbed the rim.
That's 18th points for, 16 for Cooper Robb there. Harden on the dribble down the lane with the step. Got it and fouled by Cam Fluker. I believe in that situation, you're up 16 points, Coach. You might want to go ahead and back up and give him that layup. Now you're shooting a free throw. They give him 2 points, shooting a free throw with the clock stopped.
Well, and I think Coach Hicks is going to want somebody to slide in there and make him kick it out.
No question.
I mean, where was the help?
Fifth point for Harden. Whatever happened to sliding over in the good old days and taking a charge? You never see charges anymore. Two-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Scott County with a 13-point lead, 70-57. They've led throughout and led by as many as 17 points in the second quarter. Michael Moreno puts it on the floor. They don't have to go anywhere.
It looks like they might take the air out of the ball a little bit here.
Why
Make
not?
Catholic come out and guard them at least.
Yep. No shot clocks. You don't have to worry about anything. Keep the ball hot. You don't want to go to the free throw line right now. You want to keep the ball hopping. Clock is your enemy.
So they dribbled about 40 seconds off the clock right there, and they're going to get the free throws. So great job by Scott County.
Yep.
Composed.
Get it to your ball handlers right now. You don't want anything in this situation but a layup or a free throw. Diablo Stewart at the line for the bonus. It may be too close for him at the free throw line after the way he's shooting the ball tonight. First one up is good. That's his 19th point. 71-57, a minute 27 to go. Diablo Stewart, second free throw up. Rims out. Rebounded by, there's Cam Fluker there, but Sparkman comes up with it. Down floor to Bailey. Bailey pulled up, no good. Rebounded by Glenn Covington. Covington to Stewart. Stewart's taking his time. Minute 15 to go. Scott County's going to move to 5-0 on the season. Some big victories of beating Lexington Christian, turning around the next week and beating Lexington Catholic.
And don't forget Ballard.
And Ballard. At Ballard.
At Ballard.
I was at that one. And Michael, you got a fake there. Keegan Bailey for three, got it. It's 12 points for Bailey. Foul on the inbound pass. Puts Diablo Stewart back to the line. Scott County with the 11-point lead, 71-60. I think that's 5 on Sparkman. Diablo Stewart still in the bonus. First one's up, got it. Diablo reaches the 20-point mark for the first time this year. Been struggling a little bit. I know he struggled in the Ballard game, struggled in the Christian game a little bit.
He had a great preseason. Everything I've talked to the coaching staff about, great preseason. Got into the gameplay and just I think he's still figuring out his role, and it sure was a nice night for him to figure it out tonight.
It is, and he's settling in nice. You know, sometimes it takes 5, sometimes 10 games for a guy that, you know, that comes in new and all the other guys have been playing together for a long time. Shot up by Payne, rims out. Michael Marino with another rebound. I'm sure that is probably his double-double. Not sure on the rebound category, but he's got 20 points, 22 points. Diablo Stewart yo-yoing with it a little bit out front to Glenn Covington. Glenn Covington over to Cooper Robb. Catholic should not foul right now. They're approaching 10 seconds. And that's going to do it. Scott County wins by 13 points. Michael Moreno with the dunk, which I don't know if I'd have done that.
There has to be a little something in the Catholic game, right?
I think it's bulletin board material for Catholic. You can count on that. Final score, Scott County High School. Scott County 75, Lexington Catholic 60. We're going to take a break and come back and do a little post-game wrap-up and check out the stats. Coach Greiser is going to go over the stats and wrap this game up. Again, 75-60 Scott County. You're watching Scott County Sports Network.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
When it's time for oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
United Bank, together with you. We offer all the services you're looking for in a financial institution: convenience, great accounts, internet banking, and attentive customer service. With today's hectic pace, it's good to know United Bank meets your needs with locations right where you need them. With 13 offices in Scott, Jessamine, Fayette, and Woodford counties, 24/7 access to cash at our branch ATMs and the Bluegrass Cash locations in Lexington, United Bank is together with you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And we're back on the Scott County Sports Network at Scott County High School, where tonight the #1 team in the state, the Scott County Cardinals, defeated the Lexington Catholic Knights by a score of 75-60. We got the final stats here, and Coach Greiser is going to go over, and we're going to wrap this thing up.
Yes, sir. For Lexington Catholic, Javen Harden had 9 points and 1 rebound. T.C. Price had 6 points and 1 rebound. Keegan Bailey with 13 points, 1 rebound. Max Sparkman had 10 points and 3 rebounds. Zan Payne had 17 and 11 tonight, the double-double. Ben Johnson had 3.7 rebounds Bryce Scott, 2 points, 2 rebounds. Sam Vaughn had 1 rebound for the Lexington Catholic Knights. On the game, Lexington Catholic shot 22 out of 43 for 51.2%. Their three-pointers, they were 5 for 15 for 33%. And the free throws, they were 11 out of 15, 73%. For the Scott County Cardinals, Cam Fluker had 3 points and 1 rebound. Cooper Robb had 16 points and 4 rebounds. Diablo Stewart, 21 points and 2 rebounds. Glenn Covington did not score but had 4 rebounds tonight. Michael Moreno had 24 points and 9 rebounds tonight. Lorenzo Williams with 8 points and 5 rebounds, and Kobe Harris had 3 points. For the game, Scott County shot 26 out of 54 for 48% from the field. From the three-point line, they were 11 for 24 for 45.8%. And from the free throw line, they were 12 of 18, shooting 66.7%. There goes a great night. That's a convincing win by a Scott County team that's still finding themselves. I don't think they've come anywhere near peaking yet. And there's still guys that are not, they're not feeling basketball shape yet, I guess is the best way to say it. And the team is still learning how to play with one another. But this is a big step forward. Anytime you can beat Catholic 15 points convincingly and be in control of the game, starting about midway through the second quarter, they were pretty much in control of this game and took it home.
Absolutely. Keith, and when anytime we can't look back and probably count even another 1 or 2 times that beaten Lexington Catholic by 10-plus points. And in the second quarter, Scott County led by as many as 17. And like you mentioned, the scary part about Scott County right now is I don't think nobody really gels until you're maybe January, late January, you want to gel, kind of ramping up for February in your district and region run. But again, we haven't seen the best of Cooper Robb. Cooper, he's kind of up and down right now, and I think it does have a lot to do with still having his football legs instead of his basketball legs. But again, great convincing win for Scott County. They moved to 5-0. That puts Lexington Catholic at 4-2 on the year. Join us again on this Thursday night, as Scott County plays host to Trinity Grammar out of Sydney, Australia. Best believe they're not bringing buses from Australia, Keith. We're going to be right here with the Governor Mark Walls will be back with us. It'll either be myself or Keith on Thursday night. We haven't looked at our rotation yet. Our team's still trying to gel as well, but you best believe we're going to be bringing you all the action right here at Scott County High School. Again, Scott County victorious 75-60. Thank you for tuning in to the Scott County Sports Network. Good night.